looking to do, and Bisu moving more of his force out. He definitely does not anticipate this coming. Jambi realizing he was behind in terms of economy coming in. B2 has got an observer though. He's going to see one of the shuttles coming. He's trying to target one of the shuttles. He doesn't get them, and Jambi drops 3 Reavers and Zealots in Bisu's main. Bisu loses the photon cannon. Jambi now targeting the forge. Bisu's going to be forced to bring his units around. It's going to be a long time before he gets them. Jambi picks his Reavers up and pulls out. I'm surprised he pulled out there without attacking anymore, but Jambi pulls out. Bisu's meanwhile got a DT position just south of that temple at that expansion of Jambi's that Jambi's trying to set up at the 7 o'clock position. Jambi looks like he only killed a photon cannon there. I'm not sure if he killed any probes because I think Bisu reacted quite quickly. He did have the observer in place. He was anticipating some kind of drop, obviously not anticipating a dual shuttle drop, which is why he didn't have more forces there. But Bisu now has a DT positioned at that place, which is not only going to provide him scouting information, but also information on Jambi's base. So Bisu with some good defending there, holding off Jambi, taking minimal losses, and Jambi not able to really turn the game around at that attack. Bisu prevents Jambi. Either Bisu prevented it or Jambi changed his mind, but Jambi has not got that expansion up at the 7 o'clock position, so he's limited to his 2 bases still. Bisu meanwhile with the advantage of taking another expansion at the 1 o'clock position, and Bisu looks like he's content to play. I think Heartbreak Ridge is one of those maps where you can play a little bit more defensively, where you can sit back a little bit and force your opponent to make the moves, and Jambi is now going to clear out that Dark Templar from his 7 o'clock expo, and finally we'll take it. We're just switching over to Bisu's first-person view mode here, and we can see Bisu just taking out those minerals to clear up a pathway between his main and that expansion, the 1 o'clock position. Jambi once again circling around with those 2 shuttles, once again heading towards Bisu, and Bisu just defended this with 3 shuttles quite brilliantly, it has to be said, holding that defense with just 3 shuttles, and looks like now Bisu's ready to move out with his main forces, and Bisu's obviously got that observer following those shuttles around and spawning out above that base, and Bisu's now got his expansion, the 1 o'clock expansion base fully up and running. Jambi dropping now in Bisu's main yet again. This time he managed to take out, I believe it was a gateway, I'm not 100% sure, but he definitely took out a building. Now focusing on Bisu's Temple Archives, hoping that if he can take Bisu's tech down, he can buy himself. And Bisu now coming in with the Zealots. Jambi with triple Reaver shots on the Zealots. Bisu manages to save his Templar Archives. And I think Jambi, he only killed the 1 gateway there. I'm not sure if he killed any other tech buildings. Meanwhile, Jambi also trying to push forward at Bisu's front door, hoping that Bisu would pull enough of his forces back to defend at the main, or at the very least keeping Bisu busy, if not forcing getting Bisu to pull his forces back, keeping Bisu's main forces busy at the ridge while his Reavers inflicted heavy damage. Bisu once again seems to be an absolute beast at deciding how many forces he needs to commit at which theater, and he committed just the right amount of Zealots, keeping the majority of his forces on the ridge, Reavers and Dragoons, enough to hold Jambi's assault at the front as well as defend his main. He did lose a couple of buildings there. I think it was a gateway. He's put another 2 gateways up, and he again seems to be in a comfortable position to be. Jambi's harassment, while annoying, I don't think has really hurt Bisu too much. Jambi, and I think Bisu's just about ready to move out here, and he really needs to he can't let Jambi sit back for too long. He doesn't want to make the mistake against Jambi that Free made versus against him. Jambi, remember, does have the advantage of those 2 shuttles, and perhaps that is what is worrying Bisu a little bit in terms of taking Jambi on, but he doesn't want to leave it too long. But it looks like he is now ready to move out, and he's heading southwards. Jambi coming around to cut Bisu off at his ridge. Bisu looks like he's going for the front door. Jambi with the 3 shuttles, and Bisu bringing his shuttle right up on top, trying to drop those Reavers. He might have been a little bit late dropping Reavers, but Bisu's got the advantage of the High Templar as well. Jambi's got no High Templar storm all over all of Jambi's forces on that bridge, and Jambi's lost a lot of units in there, but he's managed to conserve his Reavers critically with the shuttles. One of the shuttles gets picked off with Reavers in it. Another shuttle still has the 2 Reavers. Bisu's almost up on the ridge. Another storm going off for Bisu. Jambi didn't have any storms. Jambi still with the Reavers fighting, but Bisu is slowly but surely taking that ridge. Bisu with the Reaver advantage, and Bisu is going to force Jambi away, and surely that has got to seal Jambi's fate if he wasn't behind far enough. Now he's also left that expansion at the 7 o'clock position exposed. Jambi just trying to fire off a couple of stealth Reaver shots, and Bisu is not wasting any time. Bisu almost carelessly, Bisu gets his shuttle sniped. Horrible play by Bisu, leading his shuttle over the cliff and getting it sniped, and now he has got no Reaver. Jambi has got a shuttle and a Reaver, but Bisu does have enough forces here, I believe, to inflict significant damage to Jambi's forces, and Bisu's got reinforcements coming in as well. But Jambi is now going to be able to come up and actually defend this nexus successfully because Bisu got his Reaver sniped. Horrible mistake by Bisu. Terrible micro mistake, and could he be letting Jambi back into this game? Bisu's now got a large group of Zealots coming in as well, more Zealots coming in. He doesn't want to let the pressure up, he doesn't want to let Jambi back in his game after that mistake with the shuttle, but Jambi with the Reaver and the Dragoons is defending sturdily against Bisu's advances. Bisu feels if he can just take down Jambi's forces here, he might be able to take that expansion on, but he's not, and Jambi's reinforcements do get intercepted. Bisu's sending more reinforcements in. He knows he needs to keep the pressure up. He's got a long supply route though to get there, but Janmi, meanwhile, holding his defense. He's pulled the probes away as well. Bisu has somehow managed to hold that ridge despite not having the Reaver, just by sheer weight of numbers of ground forces. But he doesn't have enough. He's now going to rely on Storms and a Dragoon to hold Janmi's forces off. Brilliant play by Bisu. Great Storms, but Janmi's just going to move those Zealots out from underneath the Storm and take down that Archon. But that's going to give Bisu the time he needs to try and take that Nexus down. He knows he needs to take that Nexus. Janmi, though, has got one of the Reavers gets taken down. He's still got the one Reaver intact. Janmi's reinforcements coming in as well, and they're just fighting a complete pitched battle here, back and forth between these two players for the control of that expansion. Bisu doing a little bit more damage to Janmi's economy and killing a few probes in the process, but he has been able to deliver that killer punch, and really losing that shuttle with the Reavers in it has just hurt him so much. And Janmi obviously had that extra shuttle, but that was just careless by Bisu. There was no reason for it to lose that force there. Janmi now looks like he's going for a counter at Bisu's expansion at the 12 o'clock base. Bisu has got a photon cannon in place there, and Janmi manages to clear out Bisu's forces. And could we be seeing another comeback, another turnaround in these losers matches series? And Janmi now with the Reaver hammering away at Bisu's base at the 12 o'clock position. He doesn't kill any probes though. Bisu pulls his probes out in time, just takes some damage to a photon cannon that was warping in, but Bisu needs time to rebuild his forces, and Janmi looks like he's going for the counter. Bisu, I feel, has probably resecured his ridge by now, and he does have his ridge, and what Bisu has had the whole game is the advantage of the High Templar. Janmi has not had any High Templar for Storms, but Janmi does have the maneuverable Zealots. He doesn't have too many Dragoons, and Zealots are much better at enduring High Templar, and he has pushed Bisu off of his ridge, and really Bisu does not want to, and actually, I'm not sure, yeah, that is the ridge, and I'm sure Bisu doesn't want to concede that ridge to Janmi, and he's managed to hold it. Janmi going back for another Reaver with his shuttle that is a little bit damaged, but Janmi, I still feel Bisu has the advantage because he still has a stronger economy, but Janmi did kill a lot of Bisu's forces, and Bisu was in trouble once he lost that shuttle, and Janmi has a brief window of opportunity here to inflict damage and maybe take an expansion of Bisu's down. Otherwise, Bisu will rebuild his forces and be in a very strong position, and Bisu just concentrating on holding that ridge. Janmi trying to circle around the south of that. Bisu's pulled out all the stops. He's once again brought out his favorite unit ever, the Dark Templar. Janmi with an unfortunate Reaver shot that's not going to hit anything, and just not really being able to get in a good position. He's now taken that ridge. Looks like he's heading for that 12 o'clock expansion. He's forced Bisu off of that ridge, and he's now holding that ridge. Bisu's going to be forced to fight from the low ground. Bisu again with brilliant storms, catching a lot of Janmi's forces in the process. A lot of the Zealots getting caught, and Bisu's managed to pincer Janmi, and the Reaver's getting taken up by the storms. He's lost one Reaver. He's only got Archons left. He's still got the one Reaver with the shuttle, but Bisu looks like he's probably going to clear this out despite Janmi having the Reaver, and the Reaver gets taken out. Janmi actually looks like he might, Janmi does come out on top in the battle. Janmi just about holds, but Bisu does have the shorter supply route. He's got the stronger economy, and Bisu will probably come back and retake that ridge, and Bisu is coming in with the superior ground forces, and he's going to force Janmi back. Meanwhile, he's also started up another expansion at the 11 o'clock base, and that shuttle gets sniped as well, and that's got to be GG, folks. That's got to be GG. Bisu's mistake let Janmi in the door, just showed Janmi a small crack, a small opportunity, and Janmi did his best to try and get through. He played very aggressively. You've got to commend him for that, but really he just hasn't been able to, and to me this is pretty much a build order victory for Bisu. He just had a superior build. Janmi went for the Reavers, was not able to inflict any damage. Bisu went for the expansion and secured his base and was comfortable position to defend from there on in. And now Bisu's got expansions all over the map. Janmi just doesn't have enough, and he hasn't been able to take out. And Janmi now, with a desperation maneuver, heading for that 12 o'clock expansion, which does have some photon cannons in place. Janmi is sending pretty much his entire army, which isn't very large, to try and take that down. And Bisu just surrounded the photon cannon with probes to try and keep it intact for as long as possible. Now bringing the rest of his forces in play, and he's probably going to wipe out Janmi's forces here. And this is probably the last attack. So it does look like Bisu will progress through to the next round. And really the difference, other than obviously the build orders and the fact that Bisu did make that mistake with the shuttle, is that Bisu has used storms consistently throughout this game, and Janmi, and that's again the benefit that Bisu's had from having those extra expansions. Janmi just hasn't had the resources for the storms, and he did have Archons though. Janmi did have a couple of Archons, and I just wonder if he would have been better off keeping those Archons separate. Maybe he just didn't have the time for that to build up the energy he felt. But Janmi GG's, Bisu takes the victory. He will progress through to the next round of the Avalon MSL, and I think the tournament and the competition will be richer for it, guys. This is Klazar, and again, anyone questioning Bisu's form or slump thereof, I think they're just going to have to shut up for a while. Bisu shows once again why he is probably, arguably, I guess, Stork fans might argue against this, the best Protoss player playing right now, and possibly the best Protoss player ever to play StarCraft. This is Klazart, guys. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed these commentaries.
어느 정도는 김태균 선수가 당해야지 맞는 거거든요.
네.
근데 사실상 많이 안 당했어요. 그렇기 때문에 어떻게 해볼 수가 없었던 거예요.
그렇죠. 뭐 셔틀에 자원 투자하고 뭐 이러는 바람에 템플러 아카이브가 당연히 더 늦었고 앞마당도 김태용 선수가 빨랐기 때문에 병력 구성상에서는 계속 앞서가는 이런 상황이었습니다. 셔틀로 아무것도 못한 상황이라면 김태용에게 이제 그 이후부터는 끌려갈 수밖에 없는 상황만 허영무 선수에게 연출될 수 밖에는 없는 상황이었죠.
예,
제가
진짜
말씀하시죠.
김태경 선수는 나와 경기를 펼칠 때는 이 정도의 빌드, 이 정도 전략으로는 안 된다. 그런 느낌을 주는 경기였어요. 반응 속도 빠르죠, 대처 빠르죠, 여러 가지로 다 빠르다 보니까 진짜 그냥 힘으로 제압하는 게 오히려 더 낫다는 생각도 듭니다.
이번 아발론 MSL 태반은 복수전이라고 볼 수 있겠는데 그런 진비 다 갖고 있는 선수입니다. 자, 더군다나 이 변형 김태경 선수가 정명훈 선수에게 큰 빚이 있죠.
예, 그렇기 때문에 이제 갚을 만한 아주 좋은 기회가 생기기는 했습니다. 서로 간에 아주 진짜 치열한 경기 16강에서 예측해봐도 될 것 같고요. 김태우 선수가 오늘 경기 펼치기 전까지는 1승 5패로 아주 저조했거든요. 1승 4패로 최근 5경기 성적이